大家好，好久不见。我仍然每天都学习，但最近有点忙。So it's been several months since the last video. I don't know that anybody really saw the first one up till this point, so I don't know that I have anybody necessarily waiting, but still, I was going to do a monthly update, and it's been many months. I think I'm on month 4, maybe a little bit more than that now. Started in June, and then July, August, September, October. Yeah, it's been a little bit more than 4 months now. So I have still been studying Mandarin pretty much every day. There's been a couple days that kind of fell behind a little bit, but I did finish the Anki deck, the core 1,000 words. So I kind of have that foundation now. I don't think I know every word completely. Like, I'm still trying to. I still need to review some of the especially more recent words towards the end. And it's also just hard to retain 1,000 words without actually really using them. But I'm at a point now where I can recognize a lot of characters and words, and I can kind of start putting together sentences when I see words. I can kind of figure out what it means. Maybe I don't know all the grammar points just yet, but that's in progress. So that's kind of where I'm at with Anki. I'm gonna start making sentence cards and trying to do some sentence mining based on YouTube videos, and I found a good website that's really helpful for that. So let me just kind of share the screen real quick. Found this site called Caption Pop, which I think is really cool for language learning, where I can say I speak English and I want to find Chinese Taiwan. So I can look for that, and then it finds videos that have captions in both languages. So it's a good way for finding some channels or videos. I could probably search a topic, but yeah, what I'm planning on doing is kind of taking some of these videos and then downloading them with their subtitles and using I think it's like subs to SRS or something like that, which I haven't really played around with yet. But I'm gonna basically be taking YouTube videos that are captioned in both languages and try to use those as sentence cards to try to get a better foundation of actual natural speech rather than just like weird things of whatever words I put together, which was kind of what the intro was. I don't know if it was correct, but we'll see. Also, I think I didn't really mention in the last video why I'm learning Taiwanese Mandarin rather than like mainland Chinese Mandarin. And the main reason is that my wife is half Taiwanese. So basically this winter I'm going to go see her family again. Her family actually lives in Japan, so I'm gonna try to surprise her mom by speaking a little bit of Mandarin to her, and figured that all of the family that's from Taiwan are in Taiwan and speak Taiwanese Mandarin. I just wanted to kind of learn that accent. So that's kind of my goal with that. But yeah, this seems like a pretty useful tool. And the other thing that I'm going to start doing is I did the free trial for a little bit, or I just misspelled it, Glossica. And so I know that this isn't like necessarily the best tool for learning a language. I don't necessarily agree with this, but what it does have that a lot of other resources don't have is tons of native Taiwanese, Chinese audio. And I think that's a valuable tool for me. And now that I do have that core vocabulary, I think that these sentences are going to be a lot easier for me to get through. When I was trying a little bit earlier, like right when I started, it was just, I didn't know anything. I was just basically memorizing sounds, but now I can kind of fill in the blanks with words that I don't know in the midst of some other words that I do know. So that's kind of where I'm planning on going next. And I just wanted to also talk a little bit about my Anki studies. I also figured out how to project my phone in here. So let's see if this works. It does. So so you can kind of see I have a ton of reviews. Actually it's not too bad today. I had to catch up. I had bronchitis and I was kind of just not feeling it for a couple weeks. So now that I'm kind of caught back up, I can go back into this and I did tweak some settings. So movement, action. This is one of those words. There's a bunch of things that are movement. So I might not actually even know this one. Let's see. Is it? I got it backwards, but yeah. So I'm kind of still doing the same thing. If I get it wrong in any way, including pitch accent, I'm just gonna say again. And I also again have like the AI generated audio. 辛苦。他的工作很辛苦。So I'm kind of working through that. I did change some of the Anki settings to make it better for studying. So I don't know if I can share the deck settings. Probably deck options. I set these up on the computer. So what I do, if you can see around here, I set the interval. So by default, Anki has 1 minute, 10 minutes, and then it graduates. So I took some advice, and I think it really is helping me with these reviews. So the first step is 15 minutes. So if I get it wrong, it doesn't show up a minute later, because a minute later, I don't really know that I'm retaining that word. And then 10 minutes later, I guess that's a better indicator, but seeing it again a minute later doesn't really seem to help me much, where I find if I get it wrong, it shows up 15 minutes later. If I get it wrong again, another 15 minutes later, and then I get it. But at that point, I'm remembering it after a little bit longer span of time consistently. So it helps me retain the words a lot better. The other thing is you can see that the steps go up in large chunks of minutes there. So the first chunk is, or I guess the second chunk, so it goes 15 minutes and then a day and then 3 days. And that's all in the first step. So if I forget the word at any time in there and I say again, it doesn't give me the same punishment. It doesn't reduce the intervals forever. Because one thing that Anki does is if you start getting cards wrong repeatedly, it will not forgive you. It will kind of permanently say, like, this word is difficult, so let's reduce the interval, and then that word forever will get spaced way tighter than other words. So this is a little bit more forgiving for me, like forgetting a new word, because I was learning 15 to 25 words a day. Then after the 3 days, then it graduates you to 6 days. And after that, then I will get the little ding to my interval percentage, and then it will start showing up. So those are the words that I'm actually forgetting more consistently. But yeah, like especially the way that I was doing before, I was kind of cramming in words before bed, and I would just not remember them, because I might not even get that first 15-minute interval, or I would just get it and then I'd go to bed, and then forget everything the next day because I just like cram before bed. So that's some advice I would like to give too: is don't do Anki right before bed. Even though there's things that say that it's easier to remember things that you study right before you go to bed. When you're cramming it before bed, it's not productive. It's better to kind of space it out throughout the day. It's way less stressful too, and the reviews don't pile up as much. And that's kind of related to the other way that I'm learning. When I get through all the reviews and I feel like I want to learn more, I will do 5 new words at a time. So if I want to do 25 words in a day instead of 15, I will press review ahead, give me 5 more words. And then after all of those words are past the 15-minute thing and into the next day, then I will do the next 5. That way I'm not trying to remember 15, or 10, I guess, if I'm just going from 15 to 25. But let's say I did 15 more words in the day. Instead of learning 15 more words all at once and then having them kind of get mixed up in my head, I will just do 5 at a time. And it's a little bit easier. I can retain them and then move on to the next batch. And I've found that did help me a lot with retaining new words when I was like, okay, let me study 15 new words. I'll just put in 15 new words today. I got time. Those words I would just keep forgetting consistently. So I think that 5 at a time is a pretty good method. And sometimes I would just do, like, even if I was learning new words, just the regular 15 new words for the day, I would do 5. And then I would just wait until they showed up in my review, like 15 minutes later. And then after I've cleared those 5 words, then I'll do the next 5, kind of self-regulating in that case instead of just telling Anki what to do. And I think that was fairly effective. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with that. I don't have too much else to say about it. I mean, I've learned about 1,000 words ish. I'm starting to get better at comprehension when I try to read something, but it's still very difficult. But I'm going to try to really push myself over the next couple months. I'm going to try to do speaking. I know that this debate over whether or not you should do output this early into learning a language, but my goal is to kind of, again, surprise my mother-in-law by December. So I think at this point I can probably swing a basic conversation, and that's what I'm really going to push myself for. So I'm going to try to also get on to Hello Talk a bit more again. I've been neglecting it over the last couple months. I met some really nice people on there that were very helpful, and I gotta sometimes you fall behind in your replies and life gets in the way. So I gotta kind of reach out to some people again, and hopefully they will still talk to me. But I just want to start interacting more with natives, listening to more native speech, like I said in the YouTube videos. Gonna try Glossica. I think it's too expensive. I don't know if I recommend it for a lot of things, but again, it's got native Taiwanese speech, and as well as Taiwanese Hokkien, which I also may learn a little bit of because obviously my wife's family living in Taiwan, there are members that do speak Taiwanese Hokkien, so might be fun to surprise them if I go to Taiwan again sometime too. So yeah, that's just my update for this. I'll probably do another one maybe at the end of the month or something. I can't promise anything because I've already been way too late, but hopefully I make some more progress, and eventually I learn how to speak it, and people can look back on these and see how I've kind of been teaching myself and see if it might help other people down the line. But yeah, that's it for now. So if you want to keep track of my progress and see how it goes, feel free to subscribe and stay tuned for that, or don't. I don't know if it's gonna I don't know how it's gonna work out, but either way, thank you for watching if you did, and maybe I'll see you at the end of the month or next month or something. See ya.